Hey, this is Bad Boy 220, and I'm here to continue my review of Nightmare on Elm Street. We are currently at Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, The Dream Child, which, quite frankly, is one of the weirdest ones you can ever have. Actually, no, I got all 8 of them, and I plan to review. I do plan to review every single one of them. Um, Dream Child takes place about 1 year after the events of Dream Master. It's actually a pretty interesting concept. Now that I think about it, it continues the story of Alice, who once again is played by Lisa Wilcox, and we see Alice. We see Alice graduate high school. We see her once again take on Freddy, which I will come to again in a minute. The movie starts out with her and her boyfriend Dan, who are doing the old mattress mumbo. Mm-hmm. And if you hear in the background, that's just my That's just my TV. Anyways, Allison, we see Alice taking a shower, which turns out it's just never her nightmares. She, the shower starts like clogging, like filling up like this. She can't get out. She's like yanking on the door. She can't get out, and then we see Alice in some sort of asylum. She's like dressed in a nun outfit. We see a name tag called Amanda Kruger. Of course, we all know who Amanda Kruger is, but this story actually explains some of the stuff about Amanda. And the next thing I know is Alice wakes up. She's like, Dad's like jerking her up. Wake up! Wake up! She wakes up. The next thing we see like a full life Freddy like has some sort of stuff coming out of his mouth, or whatever that was. Then they skip ahead. Next day, high school graduation. High school graduation. Every person's dream right there is a high school graduation. It Then we find out Alice made a couple new friends. We have a comic book geek, Mark, a model in training, Greta, and Yvonne, a swimmer. Y'all know they're gonna get. Y'all know what happens when you're friends with the main character, right? Uh huh. And then we find out Dan and Alice are planning to go to on a trip to Europe for the summer, and Alice goes to work. What she does is she hears that old nursery rhyme again. You know, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. Yeah. I'm sorry, this guy sends chills up my spine when I do that. And we see Alice like carted into like an emergency room. She looks like she's pregnant. Turns out this is how Freddy was born. And there's a weird little crack looking freaky looking deformed baby thing starts running around the room like its head cut off. Then we see Alice in the church where she fought Freddy in the first movie. She the little baby thing's like crawling towards Freddy's clothes. Then you get one of the weirdest entrances for Freddy ever. The baby screams like the top of his lungs, and the whole ground starts shaking. The next thing, Freddy's like, "It's a boy!" I was just like all freaked out. By the way, Alice does nothing in this movie. Seriously, she does nothing. She just explains. So she wakes up. Amanda tries to tell her what's going on. If some of them look, see the door shut. Some doors shut on right in Amanda's face. Yeah, that's a good way to treat your mother, Freddy. Big tough guy, aren't you? Mm-hmm. I'm right here. You want some of me? Actually, I take that back. I'm actually afraid of you. I also arrived at the diner where she worked. Then we find out she arrived 4 hours late. She calls up Dan, who is at party, is at graduation party with some of her friends, with some of the friends. He he suits up and goes to his truck. Well, he's driving. He went to fall asleep at the wheel because, like you know, Faye's like strapped him down with the seatbelt. He just trying to fight him off. The truck crashes. He goes flying through a window. Now I'm not like this next part makes me cringe every time I think about it. Then gets on a motorcycle. He's next thing you know, the motorcycle starts coming out like literally just goes into the skin, his back, his ribs, everything. And Fade has one of his coolest lines. I mean, Fade has some awesome liners here. Hey Dan, better not dream and drive. Yeah, I can do the laugh. So let me see. Dan wakes up like a split second. He tries to swerve, but another truck actually hits his. He blows up. Alice comes running out. But before that, Alice gets like a vision of like Dan falling down a steep hole, yelling. That's where things start getting a little complicated. Alice finds out. She goes to the hospital. We find out that she's pregnant with Dan's child, which could explain a lot of things. Sorry, that's what you think. We find out then later that night she gives him to a weird little sick-looking kid, Jacob, which I don't know who plays him. And she tells her friends all about Freddy, but naturally, they don't believe her. Yeah, people. A year ago, people were being picked off like flies. What is wrong with these teens in Springwood? Seriously, what's wrong with all these people? Anyway, then we see Greta at her house. She's seeing our boy Mouse yapping his gums. Next thing you know, she falls asleep like this. Wake up, we see her arguing. The face shows up like a little China doll. He cuts it open. This actually the later scene. We actually see what he's like starts feeding him. But then in the later scene, we actually see that he's actually taking her guts out and shoving it right into her mouth like oh. Alice is at home making dinner when suddenly Greg is popping out of her face like a crazy person. Starts screaming. She starts grabbing. Then Freddy pops out the other side and yanks the door closed. We see Greg like choking. She falls down, go boom. Then really stupid stuff comes. Just basically have more just talking. Alice goes to her friend Mark, who apparently lives in his dad's factory, which is kind of cool. Then Freddy lures Mark into a house after Alice agrees to stay with him, to hang out at his house. Alex draws herself into one of Mark's dreams. We see Mark hanging above a pit, holding off a Jedi. Alex pulls him out. He looks at his hands like, ugh. He faints. Next thing I know,